Hi, my name's Mike Akins, and I want to thank you for considering this opportunity. I've got some really exciting information to share with you over the next few minutes. I've been successfully involved in network marketing for more than 50 years. I started network marketing when I was 19 years old. I came from poverty. I was sanding cars. And network marketing, I believe, is the last area that people like me, possibly like you, can actually live their dreams, actually become wealthy if that's what they want. And network marketing has been very good to me. During the 70s and 80s, I was able to start health clubs, restaurants, RV park, truck stop, a investment company, real estate, auto body repair shops. Network marketing has been tremendously good to me. But more important than all of that, network marketing has been given me the opportunity to express my heart through humanitarian endeavors all over the world, been able to make a difference in people's lives. In the mid-90s, I became very concerned that over the years I've noticed that there was very intelligent people that were really sharper than I was, that would work hard, spend years in network marketing, but not get anywhere. It puzzled me. I couldn't understand it. So what I decided to do is to commission and finance a study, the most extensive study in the world in the network marketing industry. And so I had one of my companies, research and marketing consultants, do this study. And they had genealogies that contained information on a couple million distributors. They did surveys, and after 3.5 years, they come up with a success formula. Now I understood it. And I wrote a booklet called Cold Facts Exposed that I would love for you to have, that explains what was taking place in the network marketing industry, that some would become wealthy, but so many would just struggle. And so what I decided to do was I wanted to go ahead and find a company that would be my last venture for the next few decades. A company that would align its features with the features involved in this study, the success formula. And we looked, and we narrowed it down, like the research and marketing consultants looked over 1,000 different opportunities. And we narrowed that down to about a dozen. And then we started analyzing them. We even test marketed a little bit. And I did find a company, the number one company, that almost had the features that this study found was crucial. The very most important factor involved in this study for success was the founder, the management of a company. People are always looking for founders that have money, that have experience. Well, this David Listenby had both of these. But what this study found that was more important than that, and that is that they had a humanitarian heart, a heart that put the distributor before the dollar. And David Listenby had been a humanitarian all his life. He spent years traveling the world and ministering to people. He spent the last 2 to 3 years in Brazil ministering to children. This just tells you the kind of heart he has. You see, the reason why that's so important, so many companies will get started with a big bang and have a trend and people jump on board. They change the pay plan. They sell out. They merge with some other company because they put their dollar first, their personal self-interest first above the distributors. Things get a little tough, they go out of business, you see. So this was so important, and I found the right man, and his wife is the same. I I found and he surrounded himself with the right management. So that was number one. But number two was the product strategy, the product philosophy. This was very, very important. The study found that one big problem why so many people were failing is because the product strategy was such. They would take and they want to find some exotic berry or some type of ingredient that people would not have heard of very much about, and that they'd be excited about. It'd be a good sales story, like they've used this for 1,000 years on this island or whatever. And it's something that could be manufactured for $1 or $2. Very cheaply manufactured. Maybe even quality, but the ingredients were very inexpensive. So they could make a big profit margin. Again, putting the dollar first. And when this happens, what takes place is that you have 100 or 200 or 300 different manufacturing companies that can copy the formula. Even if you patent it, all they got to do is add one ingredient, and then they got a different formula. You see, and so you get around your patent. And so many companies, you take a company like Mirinda, which is a fine, great company with noni juice. In 1996, I was on their first conference call, listening to them talk to 50 of the best leaders around, and they hit the ground running, because people in the United States and some other countries had never heard of noni juice. So, they set records. But what happened? Within a few years, there were 50 to 100 different multi-level marketing companies marketing noni juice, some of them even more concentrated. And within a few years, you could buy it at Costco, you could buy it at Walmart, you could buy it at Whole Foods, you could buy it at your local, shopping mart. So what happened was attrition started at the bottom. People dropped out to go to other companies, and it moved up. And eventually, some of the greatest leaders in that company moved to Zango, and then we start the process all over. Great companies, but the marketing philosophy and strategy, David Lisenby was totally different. David Lisenby had retired, a very successful network marketing businessman, and he went into research, and he came across this revolutionary product called transfer factor. Now, I was very familiar with transfer factor. In the 70s, my wife was dying of cancer, a genetic aggressive cancer. She was treated at Mayo Clinic and did all the best nutrients, all the best care. And I was trying to find something that would help her immune system. And I studied all about transfer factor, but I could not get my hands on it because it's still in research. It wasn't available. Years later, she died. Years later, my daughter had the exactly same problem, a genetic aggressive ovarian cancer. She was so scared because, hey, mom was treated in the #1 clinic in the world. And she took all the nutrients. We even flew her down to Mexico, but nothing could save her life. The only difference with my daughter was we now had just started For Life, and transfer factor helped her immune system work with the conventional treatment. She's alive today. Now, transfer factor didn't cure her. Transfer factor didn't treat her. That was not the point. The point was to help her immune system work with the medicine. Wow. So when I found out that this company had transfer factor, I knew we had a home runner right there, you see. So the deal was that transfer factor was not easily copied because there wasn't 100 different companies out there that could even manufacture it. It took specialized equipment. It took farming. It took all kinds of things. And in 19 years, since 1998, we do not have any competition in network marketing for this product. Not only did they patent the product, which someone could circumvent, but they patented the process. So the number 2 component that this study found was important was the product strategy. And we've got the owner with a humanitarian heart. We've got the product strategy is amazing. So what's next? Well, the 3rd component that's very vital is the compensation plan. This study found that the compensation plans were targeting certain, you may call them categories, because there's 7 different categories. They're targeting one category. A couple of companies targeted the bottom category, but not one single company targeted all 7. One reason was they wouldn't put enough money into the programs. One of the largest network marketing companies in the world that did $10 billion in sales last year. We did a study in 2002. They only paid their distributors 25.8%. 25.8%. For Life compensation plan on $2 billion worth of sales paid $1.2. That's 60% of actual revenue versus 25.8. So it's a whole different story. Now, when I first looked at the compensation plan, it wasn't like it is now. They had a different compensation plan. And I wasn't going to join the company, but I wanted to buy the product for sure. But the national sales director got with David, and they decided to let me get involved. And so we got together and we put together a compensation plan that aligned itself with what I found in the study, you see. Now, this compensation strategy was, we looked at it from a point of view of a step-by-step improvement, which is unique in the network marketing industry. Usually you come out with a pay plan and then they're having problems, and so they decrease the pay or they change it, on the negative. But we put together step 1, because the company's brand new. As you get more profit, you can pay more out. So step 2 came along, and we got all the leaders of the main leaders in the company together, and we brainstormed and did step 2. Dave Daughtry, which has been one of the key people that's really developed For Life, he's in my organization. He was instrumental in step 2, and so we actually improved it along the lines of what I found were important from the study. So right now, we have the number 1 compensation plan. In my opinion, and I'm talking about over 50 years of experience, I've never seen anything like it. We pay 23 different types of bonuses. Now, there was no particular type of compensation plan available in the world that would accomplish what the study said it needed to accomplish. So we come up with a hybrid. We have a unilevel, with 32% in the first 3 levels. We have the 6 to 12% infinity bonus. But what makes this unique too is the fact that we put 6 huge group bonuses in depth. Okay, so this absolutely, there's not a program in the world like this one. And one thing it actually dealt with was a structural factor that limits the percentage of people in any particular program that can get into a profit. Now think about that. And if you want to, know more about this, get that Cold Facts Exposed booklet. It's free because it explains there's actually a limit, percentage-wise, that a pay plan can pay out. I'll give you an example real quickly. If you have a 10% program, it doesn't matter what kind of a program it is, if it's a binary or matrix or unilevel, but 10% it turns out. And you say you spend $100 and you get 10%. Okay, how many people do you have to get involved at $100 each for you to get your money back and to get in profit? 10. 10. One person making money, 10 people not. Now what are you going to do for those 10? They have to get 10. Whoa, now you have to have 100 people and only 11 people making money. What if you have 8,000? Then you have 111 people making money and 1,000 not. 10,000. Percentage stays the same. 1 million distributors. No wonder there's so much attrition in our industry. But for life, it's unique. We have structured this to maximize the percentage of people who can be in profit. And you can learn more about this. Okay? Now, what else is important? Support. One thing this study found was that there are so many people, and this is understandable, most networkers are part-time. So they can't support a lot of distributors. And sometimes they can't even support someone they brought in, or 2 or 3 distributors, because life happens. You got things happening on, you got kids, situations take place. So you have gaps in your support. This creates cluster growth. You go down a ways and you have another cluster. You go down a ways and you have another cluster. And then you have attrition in between. So support is vital to this business, training and support. So what I found over the years is that I needed to put together a staff. And I did this way back. And this staff, they've become very, very good at what they do. Okay? Right now we've got 19 staff members. And we've got an IT department. We get free websites, graphics design. We develop all kinds of marketing tools. We do videos. We do all kinds of things. We do webinars and conference calls and sizzle calls. We get them translated into different languages. My staff travels the world and supports distributors wherever. So we give international support. Okay, so we have found a way to bridge the gaps so we have more success. Has it worked? Hey, because of a lot of great leaders in the field, because I don't want to just say this is all me, all my staff, but because of the great leaders in the field, my staff and I, and the great company, I have over 500,000 distributors. Well over 500,000 distributors, okay? We have a very low attrition rate. I have 14 of the 18 platinums. That's the highest level. And they make a ton of money, okay? And I have over 80 of the 115 gold second level, and they make a ton of money. And what's really neat, I've never been in a program that you didn't lose a lot of leaders. When I first started at Amway back when I was 19 years old, I was so excited about the diamonds, double diamonds, triple diamonds, and later on the crown ambassadors. But I was shocked years later when diamonds actually disappeared, and double diamonds disappeared, triple diamonds disappeared. Because we're talking about huge organizations. What happened? Well, in time I realized a lot of leaders moved from program to program because their incomes go down because of attrition. So together with the leaders in my organization, great leaders, together with the company and what we do, we've had tremendous results. Now, basically, this has all happened through 3 primary legs. Now, I know maybe, I don't know how many, 15, 17, 20 people, but 3 primary legs takes you all the way through the program, okay? Now, these 3 primary legs, they average between $23 million and $25 million in sales every month. I know network marketing companies that don't even do that every month. So it's really worked.